And now in closing, and the bonus, and I know it says in closing, I still got about 20 minutes to go, but this is going to take me a little bit of time. I want you to understand that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You need to start doing things differently from today. My idea is that I will inspire you to do just one thing differently today. If I can get you to do one thing, not 10 or 15, that'll be great. If you look at your post, if you go fix your profile, I have achieved what I set out to do. And then most importantly, I want you, of course, to contact me and hire me to do your talks for you, but that's another thing altogether. So first of all, let me explain to you once again that social media is not optional. About 10 years ago, I did a roadshow for Mike's Kitchen where I traveled the country to all their restaurants and I told them all that social media was not optional. And most of the people in the audience laughed at me. But occasionally to this day, I'll have someone come up to me and say to me, you know, Mike, I was in your talk 10 years ago and I only wish I'd listened. I only wish I'd believed you when you told me that this is how viral it will be and this is how important it will be. So social media is not optional. The second thing is social media is not difficult to do. It is difficult to get right. It's difficult to master, but it's not difficult to start, to dip your toe into it, to get it done. Thank you, Benjamin. Enjoy the rest. Social media is not a difficult thing to do. And then following on that, social media is not free. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you effort. Spend that time, spend that effort, spend that money wisely, but spend that money. Even if you spend it on paid promotions, it's not free. Highly important, and I have to stress this once again, once you post it, it's out there. Please be careful what you post, particularly in your personal capacity. Please, it has far-reaching, I know so many horror stories that I could share with you. My favorite, of course, if any of you are on Netflix, I'm not sure if the show is still on there. There was a show called Weiner, a guy by the name of Anthony Weiner, who didn't quite understand the difference between a personal message and a tweet and a direct tweet, and sent a picture of himself in his underwear, and it was, you know, it went viral, lost him his job. So please be careful. Once you post it, it's out there. Listen first, sell second. That's what social media is all about. You know, people often ask me what I think of Twitter. Now, Twitter's an interesting beast because Twitter's like arriving at a cocktail party where everybody's speaking at the same time. There is so much clutter and so much chatter that it's hard to see anything. But what Twitter does allow me to do, it allows me to go listen in on conversations that I want to listen in by following certain people. And that's what it is. So I'll go along and let's say, for example, I want to do work with a brand in South Africa. Let's say I want to do work with, let me just pick someone. I want to do work with the Grill House. That's what I want to do. So what can I do before I go and even talk to the Grill House? Before I go and present anything to them, what I can do is I can go and follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook, and most importantly, I can listen to what people are saying to them. Then I can go to them and I can say, here is, I want to sell you a video. Here's why I believe you need it. Do you know how many people have said they'd like to see inside your store? Do you know how many people have said they'd like to see more about your food? It gives me the opportunity to listen first and sell second. And then very importantly, sell, 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 because that's really what social media is all about. That's why you've invested all this money, all this time on everything you're doing is actually to drive sales. Now, Rion and his coffee, great guy, posts very, very funny stuff, but he can't do it for long if he's not going to sell. You know, many years ago, I was fortunate enough to walk into the offices of ATM Solutions, Automatic Teller Machines Solutions. They were the guys that brought private ATMs into the country when only the banks were around. And they had a big sign up on their wall, and it said, it was their mission statement. And I've seen a lot of mission statements in my life, but this one really struck me. It said, our mission statement, make money, have fun, do some good in that order. And it was the line at the bottom in that order that made me realize that without the money that comes from sales, without making money, you don't have the money to have fun and you can't do any good. That's the order you have to do it in. And that was a lesson that I learned, sell, sell, sell. And then finally, action brings motivation and not the other way around. particularly through lockdown. Now, there were three kinds of people that every day in lockdown, there were three different kinds of people. The first person used to wake up every morning absolutely depressed, not prepared to get out of bed. Their lot in life, everything was terrible, couldn't bring themselves to do anything, only read the bad news, only posted the bad news. The second kind of person was like full of vigor and joy, and set the alarm for 6 o'clock in the morning and ran 50 kilometers in his 3-meter garden and built stuff and then the third kind of person was like, what the heck was this? Was unsure where to go. And one day I realized that every one of us, myself included, was all three of those people on any given day at any given time. We were kind of fluctuating between it. And what I realized that day was I didn't need anyone to motivate me to bring me into action. I needed to start the day with some action. So I created this little routine for myself where I set my alarm for 6:30 in the morning, and I would get up and go outside, and I'd make my bed and I'd switch off the TV. Those were my actions. And I made sure that besides on the weekend when there was sport, the TV did not come on again until 6:30 in the evening. So I can tell you right now that action brings motivation. I want you to walk away from this talk. I hope you're motivated, but I hope you're motivated to go and take one action. Because once you take that one action, you're going to find the other motivation you need to do the rest of it. And then finally, we come to the bonus resources, and I'm hoping a whole lot of questions. So I have tried to compile a list of resources that I think each one of you can use in wherever you are, that'll just take you to the next level of where you're going. The first one is I have made the notes for this presentation available to you. It's on download. Go to https://bit.ly/31am7. It doesn't stand for the 31st of March, but there it is. Liesel's already printed it. She's put it in the chat for you. There are my notes, the little places for you to make notes. Please feel free, download them, use them, make notes about them. If you have questions, contact me. I'm only too happy to help you. The second set of giveaways is what I'm calling my social media toolkit. This is about 4 or 5 pages. There's once again, there's the link in the description at the moment. And if you miss any of these, please contact me. I'll send you the links. This is a social media toolkit. It's a little toolkit. It's in PDF format so that you can click on the links. It's all the little things I use from graphic design. From graphic designing. Francois van Zyl, I just need if you can just let me know, is that Francois van Zyl all the way from Fancourt? I'm hoping that, anyway, hello Francois from Fancourt. So this is my social media tool set. This is everything you need. It is Francois so Francois and I go back a long way. He used to work with me and I won't even say for me, he used to work with me at Real and Rustic. He says I'm the most terrible boss he ever worked for. And that was, of course, until he started working for himself. And then he realized that he was actually a much worse boss than me. But that's a whole other story. Your social media toolkit, little things you can use. Let me just answer Annette Brody wants to know, do you have to be on all the social media platforms? No, certainly not. In fact, what I would do is I'd say, where's my target market? So Annette, I'm not exactly sure what your business is, but I would look at my business and say, where are my, like I know, for example, that my business is, they're sitting on Facebook and they're sitting on LinkedIn. Those are the two. Annette imports toys. So without a doubt, I would certainly start looking at things like TikTok. I would look at Instagram because that's where people will be able to see the imagery. But and unless you want to sell your toys to other people, so for example, you want to sell your toys to other businesses, LinkedIn's probably not the platform for you, but I'll get the questions a bit later on. So please feel free to download my social media toolkit with clickable links. It's where to find great stuff, how to use it all. It's an unbelievable resource in that one day. And then the third resource, and this is, you can see me, I'm really an oversharer. And I've given away what I call my 1-page 7-step social media strategy. There it is for you, laid out in 7 steps. The link's already in there. Go there, follow them. It tells you what to look at, etc. And then I've also, as a little bonus included with that, I've put down a one-page marketing plan, which I've divided up into before, during, and after. And there are little questions for you to answer for yourself. Jot down a couple of notes. I can promise you now, if you take the trouble to follow just these 2 documents, you're going to set yourself apart from about 95% of the competition out there who are literally coming on social media. They've got some young clerk who they've caught on their phone a few times, said, you're in charge of posting. That's what it's about. So all of it, that is there. Every resource you want. What I'm going to try and do is answer some of the questions. And Denise, for example, her question is, how frequently does one post on any platform? Now, the jury is really out on this one, how often you should post. What's the difference between posting and oversharing? Unmute myself. I have seen numbers that go from posting on Twitter 7 times a day to posting on Pinterest 10 times a day. You're going to have to work on it. It's called A/B testing. What works for you? My recommendation, if you're a small business owner, make sure you're putting something up on your Facebook page at least every 2 or 3 days. Be at least that regular to start. If more works for you, that's great. What I would do is I'd also divide my posts up. I'd say, okay, I'm posting 2 product posts per week. I'm posting 1 hints and tips per week. I'm posting 1 questions per week, and have a plan, have a schedule, have a plan, and that's what it's all about. In a nutshell, I can promise you this is going to take your social media from shotgun marketing to something refined and interesting. I know it's been a very fast hour and 15 minutes. I had a lot to get through. I appreciate every one of you for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free, post them right away. Thank you again, Liezel, for there's my email address, my website, my WhatsApp and Telegram, and also the downloads are all there. Please cut and paste them, download them at your own time. Thank you, Tracy. By the way, I see Tracy's here from Ort. She's one of the people who helped me promote this promotion. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And if there are any questions, please either in the chat or contact me later. I'm very happy. But before I go, and I can see Liezel's about to speak, once again, I wanted a huge credit to Exo Futures and Democratizing Entrepreneurs, not just for giving me the platform, but giving each one of you the opportunity to be here and listen to these platforms. I can tell you it's very hard to explain the value that you get out of these talks. I've been attending every one of them since the beginning of January, from Jody to Fabrice, who was on here earlier. There's hardly one that I've missed, and they really are worth it. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been fantastic. Liezel, over to you.
Thanks, Mike. We do have some questions which we didn't get to. The one was from Pietro. If you cannot post as often as is suggested per social media platform, is it worth posting at all?
Yes, most certainly it is. I wouldn't even worry. That's why I'm trying to tell you, don't worry too much about the what other people are telling you is enough. You'll work out for yourself what's enough. Just keep posting, keep posting, keep posting.
Okay, and that leads to Denise Mishlanga's question here as well. How frequent does one post on any platform?
So I would, and you can Google this because that's probably give you the best idea, but those numbers are too high. From my point of view, I like to make sure that I'm on Facebook at least every day or every second day posting something. If I'm not posting, I'm on there commenting on other people, reading stuff up. I don't believe that there is a set amount. I think there's a little bit of overkill, and people do that a little bit. Debbie, all my contact details have just been posted again. Thank you. So don't worry too much about these norms around how often to post. Really don't. Just do your thing. As you become more comfortable, you'll start posting more.
Thank you. And then there's yes, go for it. You go for it, right? You've got that one.
Wants to know, I find it difficult to come up with content. I post when I get a new product. what I hope my followers will be interested in. Occasionally, I post a link to an article that I find relevant and useful. Trevor, that's at least a start. You need to start looking at ways to start creating more content. In other words, like for example, let's say you have a new product. You've brought in a new toy. I don't really want to see a picture of the toy. What I really want to see is a short video of someone enjoying the toy. Even if it's 30 seconds of the unboxing. Unboxing is a huge thing on YouTube. People unbox products for the first time and talk about it. Get somebody to do an unboxing series for you. And if you've got toys and you're looking for somebody, my daughter will do those for you. She's the person to do your unboxing of your new toys as they come in. And she'll supply you with a 30-second video that you can put on YouTube, you can put it on Facebook, and you can put it on TikTok. And I promise you'll see the interest in that age group just go through the roof.
Excellent. Any other, your daughter is going to love you, Mike, says Carmen. She's in grade 12, Mike. She's in grade 12. She needs to focus on school.
They would focus their cameras.
Focus. Any other questions? Scott, a lot of people are leaving Facebook and other social media because of censorship. Over 150 new social media channels have sprung up and become very popular. What's your take on the future of social media return on investment, Mike? Thanks for the question, Scott.
Okay, so Scott, the first thing I want to tell you is that a lot less people are leaving than we like to think there are. So, for example, there was that little, let's all switch to Telegram and Signal. That happened about 2 months ago. I posted a little meme telling everyone that I was pretty sure that within 2 months we'd all still be on WhatsApp, and we are. There are a couple of people that have switched to Telegram and a couple of groups that use Telegram because it has probably more video capacity than anything else. But on the whole, for the foreseeable future at least, people are still going to be on the mainstream social medias. And of course, there are new social media channels coming up. There's what's it called? Basecamp? No, not Basecamp. The one where you leave voice messages. I still haven't quite worked out how that.
I think there's Lunch Break or Lunch Club or something club.
Something club, yes, something.
Clubhouse.
Something club,
Clubhouse.
Camp club. Clubhouse. Thank you for that. Yeah, Clubhouse. So Clubhouse has come along. I still haven't worked out how that works. I understand Telegram. For me, I'm gonna fish where the fish are. I'm a small business owner, so right now the fish are in social media. They're still there. That's where my market is. I can't chase them across every single platform. I'll rather look and say, okay, I'm working with a client. So, for example, let me go back to Mr. Levy and his toys. I'm going to try and convince him that he needs to switch. He needs to concentrate on things like TikTok, even if they're not right for me or they're not right for example, for Ort. So that's how I would do it. I wouldn't panic right now. Let's go. Talia, thank you. It's my Oreo tie. Talia is somewhere down in Sagefield. Love to the family. Also worked together many years. It really is nice to see so many nice names. Ellis with his whiteboard behind him.
Are there any other questions?
So, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Doesn't look like that. Alice, we couldn't hear you. You muted. I could see your mouth moving. Oh dear, yeah, Mike goes. I just want to, it doesn't look like there are any more questions, Mike. So I just want to thank Mike for again sharing with us. Mike has been sharing with the democratizing entrepreneurship community since we started talking beginning December. And I'm going to just talk personally about working with Mike. Since Mike started telling us all these and sharing all these wonderful nuggets with us and working with us and building out the democratizing entrepreneurship community, it has been a phenomenal experience. From getting people to come to our free masterclasses, working with our guest speakers, and I know there's been quite a few of them on this specific masterclass as well. He's changing our communities' lives with the work he does, and he's really contributing significantly to what we are trying to do from a democratizing entrepreneurship in Africa perspective. And as you can see, it's a lot of fun working with him. So Mike, thank you again for all this hard work that you have put in. I'm going to close now, as I see people are really more commenting about your tie at the moment than anything else. So while I'm doing the close, Mike, please quickly pop in your contact details into the Zoom chat again, please. So unfortunately, we are not having a masterclass next week, Friday, everyone, because it is a public holiday in South Africa. But we do have somebody else lined up for the following week, and we are fully booked up into June. And these are the people from our Democratizing Entrepreneurship community who comes and speak to us about their skills, their experience, etc., which they share. So we have a wonderful lineup for you. So Mike, I don't know if you have a few last words, and then I'm going to say goodbye to everybody.
Well, just to wish everyone a wonderful Easter, a wonderful Passover. Be safe. Don't do anything silly. Have a wonderful time. Chag Sameach. Enjoy. And thank you again, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. I know there's questions being sent to me privately. Oh, Carolyn says, please include me in your talks. Definitely we will. If you are part of this masterclass, you've registered and you're participating, we'll add you to the database and we will send you invitations to join our future masterclasses. If you would like to unsubscribe, just reply to the email you received from me and ask me to unsubscribe you. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here. I know everybody's wonderful who's joined us this morning. You can contact Mike directly and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.